Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video. So I thought, what series should I revise to kind of start the new year off? And I thought, why not do Simpsons Tapped Out Ideas? So today we're going to be doing a new event idea. Now this was one that was voted in the Discord a while ago. Well, at least there was a tie with this and the university event. But because of Christmas, I had to obviously hold this one off. I did the university event, but now I've finally done this one, and there will be a vote. If you go now to the Discord, there'll be a little poll of which event you want to see next. So, this one is my Florida event. I'm joking. I know how to pronounce it. This is my Florida event. So, I basically said it was based around a state in America. And I kind of thought about this. There is a lot of stuff they could give us from Florida. So, I thought it would make a decent a decent major update. And I believe it has. Now, it is primarily focused around that infamous, hated episode, Kill the Alligator and Run. That's what this update is primarily based around, I'm not gonna lie. But there is a few other things from different episodes. There is basically a Deep Space Homer act as well, but you'll see that when we go through it. So, let's start with... boom. Oh, wait. The startup. Mrs Winfield can't seem to find her husband and unfortunately resorts to asking Homer for help. He tells her that Mr. Winfield is probably at Moe's, but Sylvia reminds Homer that her and her husband moved to Florida. Lisa tells Sylvia that she'd be more than happy to help look for Mr. Winfield. Sylvia thanks Lisa, saying that this is why she is her favourite of the Simpsons family. Make Lisa help look for clues, make Homer help look for clues, and this will unlock the event, and Sylvia Winfield. Now, I figured, after I did my Forgotten Characters video on the Winfields, those guys moved to Florida. So I figured there'd be a funny... This wasn't originally planned, but I thought it'd be kind of cool if I tied them in to the event. Now, this doesn't happen recently, but sometimes in the past we have got a character like free, just completely for free at the start of the event, and they lead the event. A good example is Norbert Van Houten. Now, I don't think Norbert Van Houten had a full tasks when you first got him, but he definitely was sort of there. You had him, and I think they could do it again. So yeah, and there's some event currency. You got umbrella cocktail sticks, beer cups, whips, and plutonium rods. So, and then I've kind of ordered this wrong. Obviously, once the event started up, Gil will come in, and he says, I like that. So he has a deal. You get Velma, you get Velma's Diner, and you get Velma's Caravan, all for the low price of 200 donuts. Not too bad. 2 buildings, 1 character. One's not a great building, but I think that's a pretty good deal overall, personally. I don't know, maybe it should be a bit more expensive. Maybe it should be $250, who knows. She's not like a massive character. She was just an extra thing that I thought, I threw in. Again, also from the Kill the Alligator and Run. There's a lot of content from that episode, sorry. Anyway, Act 1 will drop. In the store is the sheriff with Palm Corners Police Station. So, what you're going to get is this building with this little pier here. Not this pier, but this pier. So you get this little pier, and then on the end of this pier will be his little police swamp boat as well. I just didn't have enough room to add this as a decoration, so yeah, I'm going to throw this in here. So you get the little police building, you get the little swamp boat, the little pier, and you also get the sheriff as a full playable character. Now, this will need to be placed by the sea, so you have to place it on the beach. That's it's not optional, you have to do it. So, but I think it'd be a cool building nevertheless, so yeah. Moving on, Lisa asks the sheriff if he has seen Mr. Winfield, but he tells her, unfortunately, no, he is nowhere to be seen. Lisa asks Sylvia where he was last seen, and she tells Lisa, bingo, but they've already checked there. Lisa suggests that they ask the public, but the sheriff tells her it's spring break, so most of the public are drunk. Make Lisa hand out missing person pictures, make Sylvia Winfield hand out missing person pictures, make Springfielders earn cocktail umbrellas, and this will unlock the Palm Corner sign. So you get this as a decoration. Very awesome. Squeaky Voice Teen tells Lisa that he saw Mr. Winfield at bingo and he was complaining that his bingo sheet had no even numbers and he was going to feed the ducks instead. The sheriff tells Lisa that there is no duck ponds in Palm Corners, well, because of Captain Jack. So you make Lisa look for clues, make Sylvia worry about her husband, and make Springfielders earn cocktail umbrellas, and this will unlock the large print bingo. So you get this as a building. This didn't appear in the Kill the Alligator and Run. I think it appeared in like a Marge and Homer episode where they're like running away from Bart and Lisa, but it briefly made an appearance, but I thought I tied it in quite well. Sylvia tells Lisa that they need to go to the swamp and look to find her husband's remains. He must have been eaten by that alligator, she says. The sheriff tells her that Captain Jack would never do that. So you make Sylvia argue with the sheriff, make Lisa search the swamplands, and make Springfielders earn cocktail umbrellas, and this will unlock the swamp boat. So you get this little boat here with the Spring Break Forever. It could be called the Spring Break Swamp Boat, maybe. But you get this anyway. This is a decoration. It has the Spring Break Forever on it. Oh no. Lisa finds Captain Jack and asks Frink if he could find out whether Jack has eaten Mr. Winfield. Frink tells her he would, but he's currently having to dress up as Mr. Florida for Miss Wyoming and his date. Lisa tells him it's really important that they find out and agrees to do it for him. So you make Lisa dress up as Miss Florida, make Frink, if owned, investigate Captain Jack, make Springfielders earn cocktail umbrellas, and this will unlock Florida Lisa as a costume. I know, didn't appear in the episode, but how could you not want this as a costume? It's beautiful. It was in Hit and Run as well, so it makes sense. Frink investigates Jack and tells Sylvia he has bad news. Your husband's watch did not survive the alligator's stomach acid. Sylvia is upset her husband's died, but Frink tells her that he's not dead. Jack just simply swallowed his watch. No other remains appear to be inside. So you make Sylvia thank Frink, make Lisa be Florida, make Springfielders earn cocktail umbrellas, and this will unlock Captain Jack as a full playable character. So that is Act 1. I think it's pretty cool. 2. Let's move on to Act 2. Bam. Seen it, I know. We got the Spring Break stage with Sinega for 150 donuts. So this will be a decoration, I guess. I don't think you can really justify it being a building. So it's a bit, maybe, I don't know. It's kind of a cool decoration though. It's quite a big decoration. So I don't know if, maybe that doesn't quite justify the price. Maybe it should be 130 possibly. But yeah, you get Sinega as a full playable character, and you get the Spring Break stage. So Sylvia tells Lisa that she's found a duck pond. Well, the ducks died due to the alcohol and the vomit put in the pond due to the spring breakers, but her husband may have been there. Homer tells Sylvia that he is hip with the kids so he can find out where Mr. Winfield is. Both Sylvia and Lisa are against this, so you make Lisa tie Homer to the bed, make Sylvia help tie Homer to the bed, make Homer try to get free, make Springfielders earn party cups, and this will unlock the bed and an animation. So decoration and an animation for Homer for 8 hours. So basically this animation will of course be free or something like that. I don't know what you could call it, but basically the animation will be him on the bed hopping around essentially, which is in obviously the Spring Break episode, so gotta have it in there. Lisa asks damn it, what is this name? Sepulveda. Say it. Lisa asks Sepulveda if she's ever seen anyone visit the old duck pond, but she tells Lisa that she hasn't. But some people have been partying for days, so it's best to ask them. Make Lisa ask Spring Breakers about Mr. Winfield. Make Sylvia bully Spring Breakers into answering questions. Make Homer get free, which is the animation. Make Lisa Springfielders earn party cups, and this will unlock the crowd of Spring Breakers. I know, I hate crowds, but there you go. And then you have, oh wait, what? What am I doing? Sylvia and Lisa hit a dead end, and find Homer getting drunk with Spring Breakers. Lisa tells him that he is hurting their search for Mr. Winfield, but Homer tells her not to worry as he has a plan. So you make Homer get drunk and ask questions, make Sylvia judge in disgust, make Lisa be embarrassed, and make Springfielders earn party cups, and this will unlock the giant malt liquor bottle. So you can see it there. Homer tells Lisa that the Spring Breaker told him that an old man passed by looking for ducks, but he couldn't find any and went to the flamingo store instead. Sylvia goes to thank Homer, but stops herself. Make Sylvia hide her gratitude, make Homer throw up, make Lisa follow the lead, and make Springfielders earn party cups, and this will unlock the sunglasses and flamingo store. So they're just kind of seen briefly, but I thought I'd chuck them in there. Kind of cool. Lisa finds Sepulveda there and asks her what she is doing. She works there now. They replaced her with the other one. When they remembered she was 25, Lisa tells her that Mr. Winfield came in here before he went missing, but Sepulveda tells Lisa the store was closed that day, but someone did break indoors. Make Lisa look for clues, make Sylvia question Sepulveda some more, and make Springfield his own party clubs, and this will unlock Sepulveda as a full playable character. Yeah, so pretty cool. So you got Senega and Sepulveda. So those are the two characters that you have in this act. Boom. Act 3. Six-Toe County Courthouse with the Six-Toe County Judge. He was too prominent of a character for me not to add it. Now, this is probably maybe my weakest act, potentially, because the two characters aren't named, but they were so prominent. Like, the judge is the guy who obviously sentenced the Simpsons, and then he had like a party later on where the Simpsons attended and tried to escape, and then he's the one who also said that they were banned from Florida. So I think he's a significant enough character to warrant him being added in the game. I don't know, he sounded kind of cool too, so I've got him in the game. I don't care. He's coming with the Six-Toe County Courthouse. Moving on. Lisa asks the sheriff if he arrested the person who broke into the Flamingo store, but the sheriff tells her that he didn't need to, as the accused handed themselves in. Lisa asks if he can find out what happened to that person, so you make Lisa wait for the sheriff, make Sylvia wait impatiently if owned, make the sheriff search for the records, and make Springfielders earn whips, and this will unlock the sheriff's cruiser. So I know, we're getting the sheriff premium, but we're getting this cruiser for free. Yeah, we are. All right, deal with it. The sheriff tells Lisa that the perp who handed themselves in was sentenced at one of the judge's dinner parties. So you make Lisa ask the judge, make Sylvia demand answers, make Springfielders earn whips, and this will unlock the electric chair ice sculpture. So, as you can see it here, so the ice sculpture in the shape of an electric chair. It was at the judge's party, so thought it'd be significant enough to add it. The judge tells Lisa and Sylvia that the man in question was forced into community service, mainly cleaning up beer cups and hosing down vomit after the spring breakers. Lisa asks where he is, and he tells her in the Royal Fart Inn. So you make Lisa ask about Mr. Winfield, make Sylvia berate the judge, and make Springfielders earn whips to unlock the Royal Fart Inn. So you get this full building. It does kind of like come round a little bit as well. So you get the little pool, and the building sort of comes round like this. So it does. There is like a panning shot of it, but this is the best. Yeah. So I think that one would be a very cool building to have, actually. The Whipmaster tells Sylvia that the perp got away by getting on the train, and he avoided his punishment. The Whipmaster tells her by Six-Toe County law, she must serve his punishment instead. So you make Sylvia run away, make Lisa run away, and make Springfielders earn whips, and this will unlock the Six-Toe County train. I know it won't have tracks, it won't be on tracks, but you just get this sort of train on its own. I know it's a bit disappointing. But the Whipmaster catches up to Sylvia and tells her that she must serve the crime. But Marge steps in, saying that she loves to clean, and she'd be more than happy to do it for Sylvia instead. So make Marge clean up after spring breakers, make Sylvia ride the train, and make Lisa ride the train, and this will unlock the Whipmaster as a full playable character. I know, so the Judge and the Whipmaster, they're not massive characters, but they were both so significant, I kind of feel like they do deserve to be their own characters. I mean, why not? I'm making these two. I mean, to be fair, I'd say they were more significant than Senega and, whatever the hell her name was. Anyway, moving on. Act 4, boom, Dr. Babcock, with the Cape Canaveral for 150 donuts. Now, technically, a few of the buildings within Cape Canaveral were added, so obviously we've got the NASA building and the space shuttle rocket, but there were like a few kind of, I guess they're called like astronaut dorms, where like Homer and his family were staying before he went to space. There was those, and there was a few more shuttles and stuff, and sort of bunkers as well. So I think there's enough that they didn't add, that they could add this as a sort of building, like a big sort of, maybe like a sort of 4-in-1 building. A bit like what they did with the Movementarian compound, I guess. I think there's enough there. Anyway, moving on. Lisa tells Sylvia that they have arrived at the train's terminus, Cape Canaveral. They should ask around about Mr. Winfield. Make Lisa ask scientists questions, make Sylvia get angry about scientists talking speed, and make Springfielders earn plutonium rods, and this will unlock the old-timey car. Yeah, there's this really weird scene in Deep Space Homer. I've never got it, where the Simpsons just turn up on this like old-timey car. So I figured why not just add that. Ooh. Lisa finds Dr. Babcock and asks him if he has seen Mr. Winfield, and he tells her that Mr. Winfield volunteered for their new space expedition. Sylvia is overjoyed that her husband is alive, but Dr. Babcock reveals Mr. Winfield was lost in space. So you make Sylvia ask to speak to Stillwater, make Lisa question the morals of sending elders to space, and make Springfielders earn plutonium rods to unlock the NASA car. Jack Stillwater tells Sylvia that they would look for him, but they have no volunteers to go up into space to look for him and his shuttle. Sylvia tells him that she'll go, but Jack tells her they can't risk having 2 elders lost in space. Lisa volunteers, but he doubts one child could operate the craft. And then Bart volunteers, and Jack says he should be able to cover it up if 2 children go missing in space. So I don't know, I'm thinking like a joke where he's like, 2 elders lost in space? Not a chance, I'm going to let that even possibly happen. And then Lisa and Bart volunteer, and he's like, 2 children lost in space? I could cover that one up. I don't know. So you make Bart train to be an astronaut, make Lisa train to be an astronaut, make Sylvia wish Lisa luck and Bart bad luck, and this will unlock the Pillow Factory as a building. Pretty cool. Obviously, this is the affair where Barney jetpacks into it, so yeah, so it's significant enough. Stillwater tells Lisa that she is about trained, and Bart has her. So you make Lisa blast off, make Bart blast off, make Sylvia watch the blast off, and make Springfielders earn plutonium rods, and this will unlock the space shuttle, or I don't know what you call this, like the space ship, because it's technically like not the shuttle, right? It's the actual ship. I don't know. Yeah, but you get this anyway as a decoration. It's the thing that Homer is in Deep Space Homer. Lisa and Bart find Mr. Winfield in space and tell him to connect his ship to theirs. Sylvia asks if it's going well, and Stillwater tells her it is. So you make Bart return to Earth. Yeah, basically they figure, I didn't know how to do this, so it's going to have to all be through dialogue, right? But basically Bart and Lisa manage to somehow connect their ship to Mr. Winfield's ship, and they save him. So you make Bart return to Earth, make Lisa return to Earth, make Sylvia wait for her husband, and this will unlock Jack Stillwater as a full playable character. Boom. And then the epilogue, Mr. Winfield and Sylvia have a reunion, but before they go home, Sylvia is determined to give Stillwater, the judge, the sheriff, and all the spring breakers a piece of her mind. So you make Sylvia give a piece of her mind, and eventually after you do that, you unlock, maybe you have to do it like 4 times, but eventually you unlock Mr. Winfield as a full playable character. I know, and they don't often do this. I think they've done it like, I don't even know if they've ever given a character after an epilogue. They must have done it. I mean, technically Norbert Van Houten, because we got him at the start, right? And then we got his tasks at the end. But they've never given us like 2 characters completely free in an event. So this would be a bit unprecedented, but it is the Winfields, so I think they're allowed to do it. And I kind of think it'd be cool if the Winfields led the Florida event. Makes a lot of sense, you know? Anyway, moving on, we'll have a look at the tasks. So for Velma, we have mop for 60 minutes, which will be an animation. Rent out trailer to runaway criminals for 4 hours. That will be in a trailer. Hire staff for 6 hours. That will be in a diner. Serve food for 8 hours. That will be a diner. Try move the trailer for 12 hours. That will be an animation of her trying to like sort of heave the trailer along. And then think about things she likes for 24 hours. The joke there is she likes everything. For the sheriff, we have Oh Dang It for 60 minutes as an animation. It'll be him smacking his hat and then it pop him back on his head. Give advice to Wiggum for 4 hours. Check on Captain Jack for 6 hours. That'll be with Captain Jack. Go undercover for 8 hours. That could be anywhere really. Patrol the water for 12 hours. That'll be an animation. That will be back at the police station. And like I said, his sort of police station, they may have to like flip it so it works, but his police station will be, obviously, it will have this little, the police boat there. It'll be included with the building. So he'll be on the police boat basically trying to start that engine. Yeah. And then enforce spring break rules for 24 hours. That'll be at the Royal Fart Inn probably. Then for Lisa, Florida, we have serve cocktail drinks for 60 minutes as an animation. It'll be her with cocktail drinks, kind of handing them out. Fill in for Frink for 4 hours. Give a speech about Florida for 8 hours. That'll be the school. Tape up costume for 12 hours. That'll be an animation of her. Big roll of tape, basically taping up her costume. And then face embarrassment for 24 hours. That'll be at the Simpsons, possibly the school, I don't know. And then for Captain Jack, we have show his belly for 60 minutes. It'll be him kind of in the water. So this will be kind of cool, right? Captain Jack will be walking around the town. But when he's, for this animation anyway, he'll go to a lake or a river and basically turn over and show his belly. Go for a checkup for 4 hours. That could be at the hospital or Frank's lab. It can be anywhere. Show off for tourists for 8 hours. That could be possibly at the spring break swamp boat. Dance for 12 hours. This is like exclusive because I didn't know what to do, but basically he'd be doing like a little jig maybe. And then play dead for 24 hours. That could be anywhere really. For Senega, we've got give out free booze for 60 minutes. We'll be here just basically throwing beer bottles. That will be on the stage as well, by the way. Introduce bands for 4 hours. Try to remove age chip for 6 hours. These could all just be at the stage. Be worried about being replaced for 8 hours. Attempt to launch a singing career for 12 hours. That'll be her on the stage, basically singing. And stay up all night partying for 24 hours. Again, that'll be on the stage. And then for Sculpture? Wait, what was it? Sapulveda, that's it. Sapulveda, be escorted by security for 60 minutes. That'll be a security guard basically pulling her away off the stage. I don't know, it could be on the stage. I'm thinking, because if you don't buy the stage, you still need to have that animation. Yeah, maybe it's not on the stage, maybe it's just on the street. Try to look 21 again for 4 hours. Work at the Flamingo store for 8 hours. Hype up spring break for 12 hours. That'll be her kind of doing some cool moves as she's like with her microphone. And then look for new work for 24 hours. That could be at the Office of Unemployment. For the Six-Toe County Judge, read cases for 60 minutes. It's an animation. That'll be literally him just with a big folder sort of reading it. Write up new laws for 4 hours. That'll be the court. Lay down the law for 6 hours. That'll be the court. Go to a dinner party for 8 hours. Again at the court. Set up an electric chair for 12 hours as an animation. That'll be him. An electric chair will spawn and he'll be like setting it up. And then ban people from Florida for 24 hours. And then for the Whipmaster, you got make a ring of fire for 60 minutes. That'll be him using his whip to make a ring of fire like he does in the episode. Join in on spring break for 4 hours. Go to a dinner party for 8 hours. Whip Homer into labor for 12 hours. That'll be an animation of Homer sort of like with a little pickaxe kind of hacking at some rocks. And the Whipmaster keeps whipping him. And then keep criminals in pain for 24 hours. That could be at the penitentiary or anywhere really. And then we have Dr. Babcock. Research TV for 60 minutes. That'll be him in front of a TV, just sort of watching it. Hide the monkeys for 4 hours. That'll be Cape Canaveral. Contact the space station again at the base for 6 hours. Pour away alcohol for 8 hours. Fix up the shuttle for 12 hours. This will be an animation. I meant the ship. So that will be when you're placed on the ship. Basically, there'll be an animation with Dr. Babcock where he will basically be fixing it up with a screwdriver or something. And then create some new schematics for 24 hours. Then for Jack Stillwater, you have apologize to the public for 60 minutes. That'll be him on this little NASA stage, or I think it's no. They spell it differently in Tapped Out, but that was what I was trying to. It doesn't matter. Him speaking anyway to the stage. Look for new astronauts for 4 hours. Allocate resources for 8 hours. Test out jetpack for 12 hours. This will be him literally trying to test out a jetpack and kind of maybe going flying into the pillow factory or something. Could be cool. Beg the president for more funding for 24 hours. And then finally, we have Mr. and Mrs. Winfield, or Sylvia Winfield and Mr. Winfield. Look for clues for 60 minutes. This will be here with a magnifying glass looking for clues. Bit exclusive to the event, but I think it'd be kind of cool to have. Call and complain about neighbours for 4 hours. Gossip about The Simpsons for 6 hours. Go to the library book club for 8 hours. That'll be at the library. Chase away a moose for 12 hours. So this is in the episode where she, her last ever appearance, or her second to last ever appearance technically, but where she leaves and she complains to Homer about his garbage, and then a moose basically chases Homer. But instead I'm thinking she chases the moose. So that will be her task. Look for Mr. Winfield for 24 hours. And then for Mr. Winfield, we have pull up pants for 60 minutes. That'll be him pulling his pants even further up his body. Complain about youngsters for 4 hours. Shop at the Flamingo store for 6 hours. Play bingo for 8 hours. Obviously, that'll be the Flamingo store and the large print bingo. Sit on porch for 12 hours. So this will be an animation with Sylvia, where they will be sat in front of either the Powell house or the Brown house. And essentially, like a little rocking chair will spawn, and they'll just be sat on the porch, basically watching. And then look for ducks to feed for 24 hours. That will be anywhere really. A lake, possibly. A river. Anyway, that is it for my Florida event. I think there's plenty here for them to do. Even if they decide not to do the Sylvia Mr. Winfield angle that I went for, they still have like all this stuff, right, to add. Yeah, I mean, that Kill the Alligator and Run is definitely an episode that they could do an entire event over. You think if they added tokens in, they didn't give us the skills deal, and they added tokens in, we could have even more stuff. So they could probably make an entire event, because you could get rid of the Deep Space Homer stuff, and you could make an entire event out of it. I don't know, I figured it'd be kind of cool to end it with the Deep Space Homer, because I really want Dr. Babcock and Jack Stillwater. Those guys were kind of cool. The Sheriff is definitely a cool character to get. Captain Jack. I'm not so big on these two, but whatever. Maybe the Whipmaster. I mean, it's kind of cool. But yeah, that is it for my event. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts and all that, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.